Recently, a variety of social media has been wildly reporting on China's alleged establishment of a secret police station in London, England. We will have a fact-based discussion today, inviting a victim of these accusations, the founder of All Eat app. At the same time, he is also the chairman of the UK Fujianese Association, Mr Lin. Let's find out about his views and response to these reports. So you're a local business owner in the area.
Yes.
Are you aware of any Chinese police stations upstairs?
Yeah, I hear from the inside Croydon. The online newspaper is popular in Croydon, and I'm campaigning for the safe Croydon.
Do you know Mr Lin fairly well? How have your engagements been with him?
Mr. Lin, I know him in the market. I saw him with the family. He sometimes coming with his girl, or sometimes he come with the kids to buy the coconut, or sometimes he buy the vegetables.
Regarding the Chinese police, have you seen anything suspicious in the area?
I never see anything suspicious. We have a lot of Chinese community here in this Croydon, but I see they are very peaceful people in Croydon. As we never see any nothing wrong with the community or the from the people from the Chinese community. They are very calm and quiet. They are very good in our community. Yeah, so nothing special I see. Yeah.
Hi, so you're a local business person in the area. Are you aware of any secret Chinese police stations upstairs?
Not really, but I've heard it from other reporters coming around here saying there is something like that, but I don't know about it. I haven't seen anything here.
Again, Mr Lin is another business person in the area. How have your engagements been with him? Have you had any reason to suspect of any wrongdoing?
No, really. He's a very good man. He's our neighbor. And, he's a family man, so I haven't seen anything suspicious to say that he's involved in anything.
So how long have you been working for Mr Lin?
More than 5 months. So almost maybe 6 months. Yeah.
And how would you describe him as a boss?
So he's very nice boss, and he every time bring the food.
So there have been accusations of a Chinese secret police station operating from this office. Would you happen to know anything about that?
No, I don't think so, because I never heard any kind of things like a Chinese politician and all of things.
How would you describe the nationalities of the employee base that work here?
So I am Indian, and we have like a multicultural employee, and my marketing manager is from Taiwan, and my colleague is Chloe is from Hong Kong, and I am from India. So it's a multicultural company, not only Chinese people working here.
Mr Lin, there are recent articles by major social media about China's alleged establishment of a secret police station in London. While the NGO Safeguard Defenders have released a report in September this year, claiming that public security departments of 2 provinces in China have set up 54 overseas police service centres in 21 countries, including 2 in London and 1 in Glasgow. One of the addresses of the overseas service station in London is your company's address. Could you please respond to this? Do you really work for the police department in China?
Hello everyone. Thank you for your time and attention to our interview. First of all, I do not work for any such Chinese police department, nor am I a police officer, nor do I hold any public office in China. I run a relatively successful technology company, but recently it has been published as a Chinese police station. This is not true. I think the purpose behind this may be to attack me personally or my business. The fact is that I am the chairman of the UK Fujianese Association. In recent years, due to the pandemic, many UK resident expats from Fuzhou were unable to return to China, and their Chinese driving licenses needed to be extended. As normal, a Chinese license needs to be updated every 6 years. Therefore, in my capacity as a non-profit community leader, and in order to help some people who do not have computer equipment or do not know how to use the apps to update their driving licenses, I volunteered to help them in my office. Secondly, I am just a volunteer, and I have not received any wages of any kind of benefit from the Chinese government. If I really worked for the Chinese government, wouldn't I be rewarded somehow? Thirdly, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wen Binwang also made it very clear on relevant websites and videos. It's just helping people to renew their driving license, and the address is published on many websites and social media, so it's neither secret nor involved in any police business. Because as far as I know, China's driving license service is managed by the Traffic Police Department, unlike the UK where the DVLA manages such matters. This has caused many people to misunderstand that it is an overseas department of the Chinese police. In fact, this circumstance is very simple. It is like the DVLA in the UK has released an app to help British expats update their driving license while overseas, and then some enthusiastic British in China helped older British expats use the app to extend their driving license. Then would you think he or she is a British police officer or a secret police station? Certainly not. It's ridiculous. In short, I just thought that helping people extend their Chinese driving license, focusing on helping people, and I was willing to help and put effort in, but I was slandered as an overseas secret police station, and this lie has caused serious loss to me and my family, both physically and mentally.
It's written in many social media that service stations harass, monitor, or assist in the repatriation of anti-communists, Hong Kong expats and Uyghurs. Is there such a thing?
I have never engaged in any of the activities you mentioned, and I also note that these actions are serious violations of the law. I have lived in the UK for 22 years and have always followed the laws of the UK. The UK has a very good judicial system. If someone engages in such illegal acts, I believe that the British police will deal with them in a timely and proper way. And I think the above reports are just stories created by reporters to attract attention. I think this kind of false accusation is very immoral and needs to be stamped out. The way to prove that this is false is very simple. My own company has employees from Hong Kong, Taiwan, mainland China, India, the United Kingdom, and all over the world. Every employee has a different cultural background and different political views. We work together as a team every day, and we have good relationships. And these employees find this news absurd. Imagine if I was involved in these things, as the social media has said. How could these employees be willing to work in my company? On the contrary, after these false reports, some people who didn't know the truth kept calling and harassing my company, and even went to my home address, ringing the doorbell and threatening my family with words, while my child was under 3 years old at the time. Is this kind of behavior fair? And someone tweeted that I organized last year's protest against Hong Kong immigrants in Chinatown. But the truth is that I was at a public gathering that day, and many people can attest that I wasn't there during the event and before and after the physical confrontation. Such accusations and false claims kept coming out, which seriously affected my company, my family, and my personal life. So this is an obvious slander, and I have absolutely no involvement in any such matters.
We saw in the report that you have your own winery in Spain and a wine business in China, right?
I wish I had a winery in Spain, but I don't. I have been out of the wine business for a long time. I haven't been back to China for several years. I read their reports, and I think they may not know that Lin is a common surname in China, and they accuse me of doing everything that everyone with the surname Lin does.
The Chinese website says that you have close relationships with the United Front Work Department in China. Seeing that you have worked with them, is there such a thing?
Again, I do not work for the United Front Work Department of China, nor do I hold any position or public office in the Chinese government. I'm a relatively successful entrepreneur in the UK and run a relatively large Chinese community. As a Chinese expat, I return to China to visit relatives, and there will be many relatives and friends who I have dinner or travel together with. I think if only because a friend works in a Chinese government department and then eats with me and takes photos with me, then people can say that I work for the United Front Work Department Department in China. I think this is a problem, as it does not conform to normal logic or common sense at all. The UK is an open and inclusive society, where many immigrants from different countries live, work, start businesses, and even serve as prime ministers in the UK. Therefore, we hope that the social media will not incite hatred, and everyone will not hold prejudice against the Chinese community in the UK. We are a group of hard-working, law-abiding citizens who are willing to make our positive contribution to British society. So I reiterate that I am just an entrepreneur and have not held any position in China.
We saw pictures of you and many senior politicians in the report and took pictures with former British Prime Minister Boris and Theresa May and said that you were trying to influence British politics.
First of all, I did take pictures with some senior British politicians, but I think UK is a democratic society. As a British voter, I am allowed to take photos with elected politicians, and I cannot be accused of influencing politics. The fact is that an entrepreneur with ideals to benefit the British society, I was fortunate to be invited to some events or dinner parties to take pictures with some senior British government officials because of the recognition of my contribution to the British society and my food ordering platform. This is an honour for me and my company, and I think in terms of common sense. Only the opportunity and time of taking a photo together, I do not think anyone has the ability to influence the politics of a country in just a few moments. And to put it another way, imagine a Prime Minister or Minister visiting a community today, and a local Brit takes a photo with him. Do you also think he is trying to influence British politics? Certainly not. So I think there is a bias here too.
Have you ever considered why they report on you and not on others?
I suspect that this is actually related to the food ordering platform I established. I suspect that there are malicious behaviors by competitors which also affect the normal operation of our company. At All Eat app, we are now operating the first zero-commission platform in the UK. As far as we know, the current UK ordering platform charges between 20 to 40% in commission. And that annual commission is as high as billions of pounds. As our zero-commission operation mode has disrupted the business of our competitors, I suspect that some competitors have seen the news and then cooperated with some Chinese racism groups to slander and persecute me, and the British Chinese community, which has caused many other social media to be misled at this time. Many British restaurants have two menus. One is the price in the shop, and the other is provided to the ordering platform. Because of the high commission charged, the merchant can only increase the price in order to operate normally, which is why many people order food on our platform and compare it with the previous platform used. We find that our price is almost 40% cheaper, so more and more British people choose us when they order food. So maybe because we affected the revenue of other platforms. No matter how our competitors treat us in the future, I will still uphold the responsibility of helping businesses increase their incomes and helping local consumers reduce their living costs, hoping to give back to British society and the place where I grew up. Therefore, if anyone with ulterior motives wants to disrupt the normal operation of my business through this matter, we will definitely take necessary legal action.
So, for what you've experienced recently, what do you want to say as a victim of propaganda?
First of all, I don't think this should happen, nor should you use some one-sided information to accuse a person. I was born in China and grew up in the UK. China is like my mother, and UK is like my father. These two countries are both my hometowns, and I hope that the relationship between China and the UK will not be affected by some social media and other fickle factors. I am a businessman and also a father. My children were born in the UK, are educated here, and will work and live in the UK in the future. I, like all British parents, do not want our children to live in a social environment of hatred, intolerance, or inequality. I think that only when the relationship between the two countries is good, there will be more opportunities for cooperation and a better life for the Chinese and British people. I accept that sometimes the Chinese community in the UK is usually not good at expressing themselves because of their cultural background. But our British Chinese community has contributed silently to the society in the UK for many years, and we should not be stigmatized like this. We do not accept false accusations due to racism incited by some ulterior motives. Therefore, this is the reason why I stand up and speak out today. I also hope that the majority of the Chinese community in the UK will resist such acts of racial hatred together. I hope no one is slandered as working for a foreign government just because of their skin color, ethnicity, religion, accent, or just because of a photo or a piece of fake news. This happened to me today, and it may happen to anyone else tomorrow, your family, friends, and even yourself. That's why I stand up today. I don't want more people to experience the same thing. Today, due to the war, our gas bills and electricity bills have skyrocketed, which has brought a lot of pressure to those of us living in the UK. This is also the reason why I started this project, hoping to reduce everyone's living burden. In the future, I hope that the world will be peaceful, and we will work together to give us a better living environment. In the future, in order to avoid someone misinterpreting my words with ulterior motives, I will no longer be interviewed by newspapers and only accept video or live interviews. And it has had a very bad psychological impact on me personally, my family and my employees. Just yesterday, there were malicious people calling the company to intimidate and harass my staff. I hope that those who have posted relevant misleading videos or related social media and tweeted libel against me will send an apology. If necessary, I will definitely take legal action. I accepted this interview today because this impacted me and my family, my friends and my business. I personally also had a lot of mental stress. But to avoid something similar happening to other people, I will stand up to take an interview. Although I know that if I just keep silent, this matter may pass after a while, but it will have had a very bad impact on my personal reputation and the image of the Chinese community. So that's why I want to clarify everything today. And I also call on the Chinese community or other minority groups in the UK to speak up if they encounter similar things and unite to resist this kind of rumor and false accusation. If anyone is facing the same problem, please feel free to contact me. My children are still young, and I hope they will see this video in the future and know that their father fought for them to create a fair, inclusive, and diverse society. Thank you all.